Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Pat Gray Unleashed is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Surf the web with peace of mind. Sign up now at expressvpn.com/unleashed. Well, here we are back again on a Monday. I thought that weekend would never end. But fortunately, we're back to business as usual.
It seemed to get here quicker.
Did it?
Like maybe about an hour or so.
Yeah.
The week started
kind of seems that way, doesn't it? I hate daylight savings time. I hate it. And there's no reason for it.
Especially with our schedule. And that's an important hour of sleep that the government stole from us.
Yeah. That's why people have heart attacks, car accidents, all manner of stuff goes wrong in the days following. And if it saves even one life.
One life.
Isn't it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
To stop doing it?
Stop it.
I think so. So the coronavirus is really, seems to be kicking into gear. And we have something like, I think it's 564 people infected in the United States. 564. It was just in the low 100s. Was it Thursday or Friday? So this thing has sped up.
Yeah, 22 deaths in the United States.
564 infected and 22 deaths.
Yeah, 17 of them
in that nursing home.
King County, Washington.
Yeah, nursing home was hard hit by the virus, and so that's why our mortality rate is so high. Hit a lot of people who are just elderly and have other underlying health problems. And apparently, when that happens, then you got a much higher risk of dying from it.
So a lay of the land is over 80,000 in China, if you're to believe those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
South Korea, Italy, and Iran are all over 7,000. And we have an interesting story later to get to about how it's spread in Italy. Oh, my goodness. France and Germany each over 1,000. Then Spain, 900. Others, 600 something. Anyway, then the U.S. checks in at 564. Yep.
Also, some patheads sent in some pictures of empty shelves where they live.
Yeah.
In their grocery stores. Let's
you go shopping this weekend. There's a Dad Bod blog sent us that. That's a Walmart. No toilet paper. Maybe there's one or two rolls up there left. A lot of people were sending pictures like this from across the nation.
Shoof.
Yeah, and a lot of places were limiting, hand sanitizer purchases, Clorox wipes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know Kroger was like that this weekend here locally, as was Walmart.
So this is just panic buying.
Yeah, I don't understand the toilet paper aspect.
I guess there's some panic buying in Britain too of toilet paper.
Yeah, there's video of just people just taking it off the shelves like it's going out of style. Yeah, look at this. That's all they're there for. Yep, getting my toilet paper and heading on my way. Everybody. Everybody.
It's just weird.
Do we realize that one of the symptoms of the coronavirus isn't getting the runs? You're not going to have to sit on the toilet all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's all about, but
it's strange. Fist fights broke out over toilet paper.
Yeah.
In places like Britain and Australia.
Yeah.
And is it just because they don't think they'll get to the store again? I
don't know what it is.
Why just toilet paper if that's the case? You also want water and, I don't know, food of some kind to get you through it.
Yeah, it's a strange phenomenon.
It is weird.
Yeah. But
all of a sudden, everybody's got to have toilet paper, and I've got to have it right now.
I forgot which company it was. Maybe it was Procter & Gamble. Somebody said, hey, we're good on the toilet paper. You'll be fine. Plenty of that is coming. So
I could see it if it was the masks.
Yeah.
And it is. Mm-hmm. Those are in short supply as well. High demand and low supply. And I just saw an internet thing. I don't know what website. I think I was on Drudge, and they're advertising for the N99 mask, and they said you could get it online there. So I don't know if that's true. I didn't try to order one, but
no,
I didn't.
You're not gonna get masks?
No, probably not.
I'm surprised.
Maybe eventually. I don't know.
Well, by then it's probably gonna be too late.
Too late. Yeah,
you get it
right
before you need it. You don't wait until...
Should I go get some toilet paper today,
You should get toilet paper just in case, and get a hold of some bad food. I really don't understand what that is, but...
Strange.
Okay.
We're weird people.
Yes. Yes.
People are dying. I need toilet paper. I'm gonna. It's just really weird.
I mean, I guess when you think of things you need, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
If society collapses, you need food, like you said. You need water, like you said, and you need toilet paper.
And at church, people are still shaking hands.
Ooh, not at my church.
Really?
No,
they're not.
No, everybody is required to get the plastic cup now for the communion, and no shaking hands.
And I keep thinking every time somebody extends their hand to me, I'm like, I don't want to, but and I do because I don't want to be rude, and I need to stop that.
Yeah,
maybe you should bump elbows or whatever. I don't know. There's a bunch of politicians that are shaking hands differently all over the place, and they're showing us the way.
Okay.
I think we have a video of
at
least one of those instances where
Mike Pence getting off an airplane.
Oh, is it Pence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch this. Got that video there of Mike Pence leaving the plane, and look at that. Oh, yeah,
there he is.
Little forearm tap there. That's how we're.
That was quick.
That's how we're doing it now. Oh, look, everybody. Hey, we're just.
Oh, he's still shaking. The one guy's shaking hands. It looks like.
No. Behind Pence. No, he was doing the forearm thing too.
Huh.
You want to see that again? Just to make sure?
Yeah.
Because if he did, then let's track him down and let's put him in the public square and flog him. Whoa, what's he? He's kind of reaching behind. Like, I think he's tapped.
He's reaching up there. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of blocked by Pence.
This. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
But
whatever.
That's where we're at.
Some people are bumping fists. Can you not get it from a fist bump? I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. That's the problem with this. And then what about that Roman thing? Where you kind of shake hands like that.
That's dumb. I'll tell you why that's dumb. Because now your hand's touching where they sneezed if they did it right.
It's true.
Like if you sneeze into your arm like you're supposed to, and I just went up and did the Roman thing, I made it worse than shaking your hand.
The centurion handshake.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. Then you're touching the crook of the arm where you're supposed to cough and sneeze.
I've been in those positions lately with the handshake that you're kind of forced into as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know, like, as soon as I can get away from this conversation, I'm
going to
go and boil my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's probably, a little overkill right now because as far as I know, there's nobody in this area who has coronavirus.
Oh, well, that's what they thought about CPAC too, right?
I know.
Okay.
And there was one person who tested positive afterwards, but that's all it takes. One person spreading it around, shaking hands with people, coughing on people.
Yeah. I mean, how about that guy in Italy who's from Pakistan, some immigrant guy?
Yeah.
And he tests positive. The authorities say, all right, just stay home. And he spent the next 2 weeks working at the Chinese restaurant that he has a job, delivering food to people.
What an a-hole.
Spreading the virus.
You should be charged with a crime.
Out of control. Well, they're going to charge him. He could get 30 days in jail. Yeah. So
get more than that. What a moron. You you endangered the lives of people.
Yeah. That'll isolate you.
It should be sort of, some sort of, careless criminal act. It's, because you knew going in because they told you to stay home.
Yeah. In Italy.
And then you're delivering food to people?
Yeah. And they're trying to retrace his steps.
Wow.
See where all he's been. I mean, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
The restaurant obviously is closed down. But now Italy is doing what China is doing. Italy's locking down a quarter of their population.
14 million people I read.
I think that's the number. Yeah, that's
crazy.
This is...
Wow. 14 or 16 million. I think it was 16 because if that's a quarter.
Yeah.
So they got about, 68 million people in Italy or whatever?
Let's see. Yeah, 60 million people are in Italy. So we're about, 15 million or so? Yeah, between 14 and 16, yeah.
Another suggestion, in an op-ed from CNET, maybe what we should do to grade each other is the Vulcan salute, the live long and prosper thing.
Oh, okay.
Live long and prosper.
All right, CNET nerd writer. He's been waiting for this his whole life. But people like me will be walking around like this. Help me. I can't do this.
Just help yourself with the other hand, maybe.
I'm trying to say, hey, look at that. You're right. Oh, look at that. Never knew that. Okay, cool.
In this era fraught with coronavirus worries and new advice coming seemingly every day, this writer, who is Gail Cooper, says, I'd like to propose a new replacement for the germ-filled handshake. Let's revive Mr. Spock's Vulcan salute from Star Trek. A simple and sanitary gesture that's just as useful as a handshake greeting and 10 times more charming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, stop.
If you're not a huge Star Trek fan, you likely still know the gesture. Actor Leonard Nimoy, who died in 2015, invented it himself. The actor would raise his hand with the palm facing forward, thumb extended, middle and ring finger parted. It's often accompanied with the spoken words, live long and prosper, thank you. Sometimes paired with the words, peace and long life.
Okay.
I can't see that really taking hold. I hope. Hope that doesn't. The elbow bump is completely sufficient. Just hit elbows together. I don't know. It does have to stop. These handshakes have to stop.
But again, there's some good things that maybe will come out of this. Communism may fall in China.
That'd be nice.
And maybe we will stop with the physical contact in our society.
Which we're both kind of uncomfortable with.
Thank you. Okay. But I don't know, man. The oil market's impacted. Mm-hmm. Stock market futures are just collapsing again.
Yep.
This is bad, man. This is really bad, and I have a bad feeling about November now. I think this is all going to be pinned on Trump one way or another.
Well, they'll certainly try, but they can't. I mean, there's no way you can pin this on Trump for any reasonable people. The problem is there's not very many reasonable people left in the United States of America.
But let's just say let's say that the virus has peaked. Let's say that we're now on the back, which there's no indication that we are. But let's just say that the worst is over as far as being contagious and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The damage being done to the economy. Mm-hmm. By November, people may not even be thinking about coronavirus. Let's hope they're not. But there might be effects, shockwaves through the economy that are going to last for months and years.
Definitely. Yeah, could very well be.
And they're going to blame Trump.
They are. However, on the flip side of that, you got a guy who's losing it, who's just, he's out of it. And every time he speaks, he says something crazy. I think we've got another. Don't we have another?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of this Corona talk, but still, this kind of fits in. Just Joe being Joe, bumbling around again.
Yeah.
Look at this.
He made an endorsement.
This primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Oh man, we cannot get reelect. We reelect we elect the election.
No, the last thing he said was play that one more time. Listen to the very last sentence that he said.
I think he endorsed Donald Trump.
He did. He just endorsed his opponent.
From a campaign that's about negative attacks
I'd be
into
using
one about
this.
what we're for, because we cannot get reelected.
Cannot reelect.
Win this reelection.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, we can only reelect Donald Trump.
To which Trump tweeted out, "Thanks, Joe."
Did he?
Yeah.
They should put that in a campaign ad. Joe Biden has just endorsed Donald Trump. We can only reelect Donald Trump. I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah.
He said it with his own mouth.
But now look, if you're the Trump advertising team,
oh man,
do you play the whole thing and risk people saying that, oh, you're making fun of him and all this stuff?
I just play the very end.
That one little line.
Yeah, Joe Biden endorses Donald Trump. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
The end.
The end. See you in
I'm
November.
Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
And I had forgotten about this clip. Pat had tweeted this out to us this morning at Pat Unleashed. They sent this old clip of him talking about Ukraine a few months ago, and he couldn't remember Barack Obama's name.
Yeah.
I had forgotten this.
They invaded another country and annexed a significant portion of it called Crimea. Right. He's saying that it was my boss. It was his fault.
Oh, man.
President My Boss.
That wasn't very long ago.
Yeah.
I remember playing that. That was fairly recently. Maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
Wow. That was President
My Boss.
my boss.
Okay, and like we've been saying, November is still 8 months away. What is he going to? And you know what? If last week we had said, I mean, he could screw up at some point and accidentally endorse Trump. He's already done that. I mean, what is he going to spew out between now and November? It's sad.
Yeah, well, kind of. Mm-hmm. It's sad, but also, if Americans are reasonable, they're not going to vote for this guy because you would have serious doubts about whether he can make it through his first term.
Yeah,
I would. If I was a Democrat right now and I'm looking at him and I'm looking at Sanders, I'm certainly not voting Sanders. I don't want a socialist. I'm just a regular Democrat, just leaning to the left. I'm not full-fledged extremist revolutionary. Then I look at Joe Biden and I'm thinking, I mean, his vice president is going to be the president probably within his first term. The way he's going, the way he's headed. And you wouldn't have any confidence, I wouldn't think, that this guy can do the job.
Yeah, and even if not officially, the president would definitely have a lot of power behind the scenes.
Yeah. His vice presidential pick is going to be really, really critical. If it's Elizabeth Warren, you can't have that. And they're saying, I've been reading that a lot of people are concerned because they think he's got a much better shot. And in all the polls, every poll I've ever seen, he beats Trump by a lot. Now, I find that hard to believe. But he has had the advantage over Trump in polls ever since they started taking that poll in a head-to-head between him and Donald Trump.
Yeah, and Joe Biden picked another endorsement up this weekend, Kamala Harris.
Right, that's interesting.
Who ripped him to shreds during the primaries.
She sure did. I mean, she went after him like crazy, and now all of a sudden, he's the guy. See, that's why those endorsements mean nothing, because they've already shown that they don't believe in that person. She's already shown she doesn't believe in Joe Biden. Yeah. Now we're supposed to buy that all of a sudden you think he's the best to do the job? Yeah, I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Thanks for playing our home game, though.
Yeah. I bet she's a leading candidate, though, for that Veep slot.
She might be.
Female,
Black,
minority.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
888-900-3393 from Steve at Pat Unleashed. We got words that can be used with both up or down.
Oh, this will be helpful. This will be good tips here. Okay, what do we got?
Back, burn, get.
Burn up, burn down.
Tear.
Get down.
Run up, run down.
Run up, run down.
Words that can't be used with up or down. Gobble. That's just not true. I'm sorry.
It's not true.
That's just not true.
Gobble up, gobble down.
Yep.
I mean, they both work.
And that's what my dog does. My dog gobbles up her food with rough greens sprinkled on top of it. Now, dry dog food has to last on the shelf for a really long time, like up to 3 years. So they sterilize it. They burn all the good stuff completely out of it. So you don't get any probiotics, enzymes, vitamins, the healthy microbacteria that your dog should be getting. So that's where Rough Greens VitaSmart comes in. It puts back in. It's a healthy supplement. It's not dog food. It's just a supplement for your food, for your dog's food, that you sprinkle on top of it, mix it in a little bit. They love it. They absolutely love the taste, and they gobble it up. That way they get all the live nutrients that are necessary to have your dog be really, really healthy again. So no matter what you feed your dog, this Rough Greens VitaSmart will make your dog's food better. Take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge for just $14.95. See the difference in your dog in 14 days or less. If you want to see your dog thrive again, get frisky again, have fun again, just go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
I guess we got schooled on exactly how we're supposed to comport ourselves around other people. There's 10 ways the coronavirus making people change their daily lives, and we had a health official demonstrating this for us.
Let's see this.
Check this out.
Okay.
Today, start working on not touching your face, because one main way viruses spread is when you touch your own mouth, nose, or eyes.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
So there you go. We got...
And she immediately licked her finger to turn the next page. That is unbelievable. You can't make that... Well, you could. Nobody would believe it if you made it up. That is unreal. She's telling us, don't touch her face. What's the first thing she does after that? She touches her. Not just her face, but she puts her finger on her tongue. Okay. Thank you. Good night and drive safely, everybody.
Love that.
So, kissing goodbye, shaking hands, those are obviously no-nos now. Try not to touch your face. That is so hard.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. I really don't. Because, I mean, there's been studies that say we touch our face thousands of times a day. Mm-hmm. Thousands of times. You don't even think about it. It's just like you scratch something, you touch something, you lean on your hand. I mean, there's a million different times and a million different ways.
Yeah, and when we play a clip like that, I mean, the first thing I did was just...
Yep, I just licked my fingers so I can turn the page, too. Leave your mug at home because it's got germs all over it. Then you don't want to bring those to everybody else.
Oh, well, then...
Work from home. That's something even we're looking at here at the Blaze, trying to figure out how maybe...
Oh, really?
Yeah. If this thing gets worse, can we... Of course we can do the show from home easily.
Sleep a little later.
I mean, this is one of those industries where you really could just not show up at this building for a while. So that's a possibility. Wouldn't be as fun, though. It's just different at home. You ever broadcast from home?
From my home?
Yeah.
No.
Gyms do their part. The idea that more people may choose to avoid the gym and work out from home has helped companies like Peloton, which sells stationary bikes, of course, to sexists who buy the bike for their wives. Yeah, that's just a terrible thing to do. Be mindful on public transportation. Subways, buses, other forms of public transport can feel like germ factories, but face masks and even gloves have become common sights for commuters in recent weeks. In New York City, trains and buses are being disinfected every 3 days. What do you do in the meantime? Listen to music, stream events at home. France last month banned gatherings of more than 5,000 people in confined spaces in an effort to slow the spread. Worship differently. Drinking wine out of shared chalices during Holy Communion and shaking hands are regular parts of church service, but the coronavirus has church leaders rethinking worshipers' interactions. You said they're doing things different at your church?
Yeah. No more shaking hands, share the peace.
Have they mentioned that? Have they said?
Yeah.
Don't shake hands?
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't had that suggestion because it just makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, these are all important tips that you're getting to, but you kind of glossed over broadcasting from home. Mm-hmm. Okay. If that becomes a thing, do I then get to come over to your house?
No. And that defeats the whole purpose. What if you're infected with the virus?
I want to.
Plus, there's no roads between my house and yours. You know that. They haven't. Still the case.
If I can figure out a way there, I can take a machete to the woods there behind your house or something like that. If I can figure it out, okay? Mm-hmm. Daniel Boone style or whatever. Is that not?
No, because there's no way to get there.
But what if I'm not infected? Because what if there's a delay when we're trying to communicate over the air?
You might get infected on the way, and we can't have that.
All right.
You could switch to FaceTime. Quick trip to visit friends and family, suddenly causing people to think twice. Instead of getting on a bus, driving a few hours, or taking a train, people are staying home and communicating online. That's the thing. With the technology we have today, you can easily do this and still see people, still interact with people.
Yeah. Mostly emails and conference calls and stuff like that anyhow. Yeah.
Don't place your bets. The larger gambling industry is bracing for a slowdown in business. Analysts fear visitors might cut back on trips. It doesn't look like in Vegas they're doing that at all. Vegas has pretty much, from what I understand, been fairly unaffected by this. People are still going to gamble.
I think they have one case now in Vegas that just broke.
But they're just sitting at the tables, shuffling cards, touching things that other people have touched.
Which leads me to believe, give it about 2 weeks, and in the news, Las Vegas will probably be a hot spot.
Very possible. It really is.
Well,
what are you going to do?
Bet online. Oh, that was rhetorical. I'm sorry.
Kind of.
My bad.
But yes, you can even conduct your gambling online. There's really no reason to get together anymore. We don't have to even
Problem
interact
solved.
at all.
We're going home, y'all. Hope you have a good week. Just stay safe out there, all right? We're good?
And as we mentioned, in Italy, they're actually quarantining over 25% of their population. That's just really something.
Wow.
Locking down 17 million people, more than a quarter of their population, including Milan, the surrounding Lombardy region, and 14 neighboring provinces in the most sweeping steps any European country
Look at that.
has been prepared to take against the coronavirus.
That's a European country right there. Western Europe.
Wow. Crazy. The Wall Street Journal reported police, emergency services, and if necessary, the army will be available to enforce the quarantine.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
People violating the lockdown can be punished with a fine or jail terms, according to the draft decree.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is that hypothetical that tests the resolve of libertarians that is now playing out around the world.
Right. However, you can argue what's one of the things that government is supposed to do, and that's protect the population. And this is part of that. But how far do you go?
That's where do you draw that line? There it is, man. I know I'm personally struggling with it. Yeah.
You could literally suspend the Constitution in a case like this, and people would probably be happy about it.
That phrase itself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of those things. It feels like if you suspend the Constitution, first of all,
there's no such thing. There shouldn't be.
I was about to say, there
shouldn't be any such thing.
Does the Constitution have the clause that says you can suspend this, by the way?
There is.
Okay, so obviously there's not that. But it feels like one of those things like a toll road. It's like, you're never not going to pay for that road. You're never going to get the freedoms of the Constitution back if you suspend it. No, thank you.
Unless you got a guy like Abraham Lincoln, who did take really serious unconstitutional steps, but then relaxed them, gave them back.
Did he?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, we got habeas corpus again.
Good.
He did, in fact, suspend that, though, during the war, and we got it back.
Yeah.
I mean...
And there was a big test right out of the gate with the Alien and Sedition Acts that
right.
Basically cost a president his reelection. Think about that. The founding fathers themselves ignored the Constitution, John Adams.
That's unbelievable.
So, I guess we can bounce back.
That's what happens when you panic.
However, do you trust our society today?
Nope.
To bounce back from that kind of authoritarian? No, I don't think so.
No, nor should we.
So let's not play that game, shall we?
Yeah, I really don't want to.
So just, in other words, if you want to save the Constitution, stop touching each other.
It's a good way to go.
All right, good. We're problem solved.
Stay 5 feet from each other. Isn't that what they're kind of recommending? 5 or 6 feet, I think, from each other.
Let's start by keeping Jeffy at home.
Yeah,
okay, just keep him.
You don't know where that's.
That'd be more than 5 feet away.
Don't know where that's.
Play it safe here. So you're going to telecommute now, Jeffy, until further notice.
888-900-3393. Got a list of some of the things that, according to this article anyway, the government can legally do to contain the spread of the virus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we'll get into that coming up. Also, we mentioned the CPAC situation where there was one person at CPAC who had the virus, and it just so happened Senator Ted Cruz was in contact with him, had some kind of interaction with him. I don't know if he shook hands or what, but he's self-quarantined now. It's amazing. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter talking about this coronavirus getting out of hand situation. And Glenn joins us. And you got some concerns. I'm sensing some concerns on your part.
I am always the bright spot in the room. I want to ask. I came in this morning because I wanted to ask your listeners to pray for all of us who are broadcasting with the Blaze, and with a special note to me on hearing the Lord. I'm in this weird situation, and Pat knows it, that I get very positive when things are really bad. I've always said, you don't want to go on the Titanic with me because I'm hell to the iceberg. I'm counting the life jackets. I'm counting the lifeboats, and I'm like, we're all going to die. The engine is working overtime. We're traveling too fast. Why are we doing this at night? I do all of that. Then when you hit the iceberg, I'm really good. And this whole coronavirus, intellectually, everything has been panic. But everything I've said on the air so far, I've given the warnings, but it hasn't been like 2008. And I'm not sure if that's because this is the iceberg or I'm not hearing the Lord. And if it's I'm not hearing the Lord, we're in trouble. I'm in trouble because I need. We have a very powerful voice, and I don't want to say anything that is not directed by him. And I'm not sure what is happening right now with me internally, because I know everything. It's weird. Intellectually, I know everything that's coming. Spiritually, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And that's weird for me because I'm never like that. I'm never like that. So you want to talk about intellectually? What's coming?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I want you to think just of your own. Today on radio, I'm going to do date night, and I'll show you what's going to happen just because you're canceling date night. Look at everything that's being canceled now.
You're talking about the economic impact?
They
Impact.
just canceled South by Southwest.
Okay, so let's take South by Southwest. You cancel that. Now you've canceled airline tickets. You've canceled all the Uber rides. You've canceled the restaurants,
dining.
the hotels. Just go for the hotels. Now you're hitting the bottom line, the people who are cleaning the hotels. The restaurants, you're hurting not only just the restaurants, but also the shippers, the people that need to ship the food in. All of the people who are cleaning everything. So you're hitting absolutely every economic level, and that's just on just the restaurants and the hotels. This cascades all through our economy quickly. That's why the stock market is pulling out the stops today. And I would suggest to you that our stock market is going to be stopped at least once today. And it's because we're in a free fall now. The reason why you're seeing this is a really disturbing sign. One of the things that you immediately think of is, gold's going up, right? Everybody flees to gold. Did you check the price of gold today?
Boy, what's
Did
going
not.
on?
No.
Check it. It's going down. That has happened once before in my lifetime.
Live gold price.
2008.
Wow.
The reason why is because their margins are being called. And so you're starting to see such a flee from the markets, and margins are starting to be called. And so people need the cash.
Cashing out, huh?
And so big money is now saying, I got to get out of gold. I need that cash. That's panic. And so now is the time. Americans always buy when it's high. Today is the day to buy gold. Today is the day to buy gold. When people are selling, buy. I'm not saying that with the stock market because I don't have any idea where the stock market, it's catching a falling knife. But gold will come back up if this is what I think it is. And it's panic selling of that because they need the resources, which means if you have a house that is pending and you're trying to get a mortgage, you're going to have a hard time. We are currently trying to finish the studio. I've had this whole studio pulled apart for the last 6 months. We are currently remodeling and rebuilding about with the 3 buildings, because we have 3 buildings now in this complex. We're redoing all of them. I've got at least 3 construction crews going on right now. Because of the coronavirus, I may have to isolate this building and say no one comes in. Anybody who doesn't work here doesn't come in this building, which means I'd have to stop construction. Mm-hmm. If I had to take out a loan, if I was in the middle of a loan, the bank might say, yeah, no more loan for you. Well, think of the things that are going to stop because the banks don't have the money. They've already been borrowing billions of dollars every night just to cover their books. Where is this headed? No place good. No place good.
Oh, this was fun.
Yeah.
Well, I do have good news. I'm accelerating the Gettysburg thing. Not sure we're even going to meet in Gettysburg anymore, but we need to make a covenant. Today I'm going to give you the covenant that we were going to unveil in July, and it is time for all of us to make a covenant with God. This is, I don't know if you saw the news about the war that is going on now between Saudi Arabia and Russia on oil.
Yeah.
That is really, really dangerous. Yeah. Russia is trying to collapse Texas in particular. And Putin declared war on us on Friday. I mean, financially.
Mm-hmm. Again, this is really fun.
Normally,
you glad I stopped by?
Yeah, so, really glad. Yes, very exciting.
I mean, the happy news is that it's Monday.
Yes.
Here we are.
The happy news is I'm not panicked, which makes me panic even more.
I'm not either. I pray every night about what to say,
right?
What to do, how to feel, all of that, and I'm not panicked about it. And it's strange because 564 people have it. Now that number is going to inflate. But they could come up with a vaccine at any minute, and then that's going to mitigate things a little bit.
A little bit. There's 2 things. One, Singapore looks like it is not spreading as quickly as it is in Korea.
Yeah.
Singapore is warmer, more humid, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, so that leads you to believe that summertime is going to help.
Maybe, because it is spreading in places like New Zealand, which is in the middle of their summer, and it shouldn't be flu season in New Zealand. So we don't know yet. Mm-hmm. But if this will stop at the end of flu season and give us a break,
little reprieve,
because it's going to take 6. But let's say we come up with a vaccine today, it'll take us 6 months before we're able to have anything even ready, and that's without real testing.
So, do we have any idea of what's happening inside North Korea? Like, is this when it really pays to be an isolated country? Seriously, like, what is going on inside that country? I wonder.
Probably something that starts with a C, ends with an M, and has annibalism in the middle.
I gotcha.
So they're just eating each other.
They're just eating each other. I don't think I want to be in that isolated country.
No, I'm just wondering, as far as the purposes of the virus spreading.
Yeah.
Maybe you are relaxed. Maybe you're just kind of feeling at peace because you are stocked up with toilet paper at your house, right? You've got a big supply going on there?
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about the toilet paper thing.
Well, everyone else is.
Really?
No, I'm not worried about the toilet paper thing.
Everyone else apparently is.
I know.
Getting in fist fights over Sherman.
Weird situation. I mean, we're weird people.
We really are.
Yeah.
And I actually have an explanation because I said last Friday, I should have sent you this email, but last Friday I told my staff, war footing. And we changed all of the show. We were deep in another show on the stealing of the election for this Wednesday, this Wednesday's TV show. Mm-hmm. And I said, from here on out, we're all coronavirus. Because I think this is all anyone's going to be talking about starting next week. Mm-hmm. And here we are. And you brought up something that made me think of this. I have an explanation on why we're buying toilet paper like crazy.
Okay.
And it fits into this bigger theory of what I'm going to be talking about on Wednesday night. But we all say we haven't seen this before. Have you thought that? I haven't seen them do this before, right? I haven't
Right,
seen this
yes.
before. This is a first in my life. It's actually not true. We have seen this before. In fact, we've seen this over and over and over again. And I'll tell you where we've seen it, and it all click in all of a sudden why we're buying toilet paper. Toilet paper, at the end, if you will, toilet paper is the last bastion of civilization.
Yeah.
It's what in our mind says, okay, we're civilized. We have toilet paper. Okay? And because I don't know about you, but if we're having to use rags or something,
Yeah, no, thank you.
kill me.
Yeah.
Really, seriously. I'm going into
Leaves.
the ICU and going I don't want to live in a world without toilet paper. And so when we don't know what to do, we go to, no pun intended, the bottom line of civilization. And we're like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to turn into an animal. At least we have this. We don't know that's what we're doing, but that's exactly what we're doing.
I will not be using paper towels. I will not be using cloth, and I will not use a leaf to wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
If
probably.
the virus doesn't get me,
of
my
course.
lack of toilet paper is going to do me in because I'm
Yeah.
with you, man. Take me. I'm
Oh,
done.
I mean,
That's true.
I mean, you got to remember,
it's true.
you don't use leaves, you use moss. No. No.
Not use
I'm not.
Leaves
no.
or moss.
bullet
No,
to the
thank
head
you.
at that point.
Oh. Oh my gosh. People are stocking up with water. This one I don't understand. My wife and I were talking about this. I don't understand the stocking up with water. How bad are things if the city water is just turned off? I mean, how does that happen? How does that happen? I
okay,
guess
well-
it's just the people at the plants.
I will
Right.
tell you that civilization to me not only means toilet paper, it also means bottled water.
Yeah, so
now,
wait, gun
because
to your head, toilet paper or bottled water?
I don't know. It's going to be pretty
Toilet
close for
paper.
me because I can't drink from the tap now. I can't.
Wow.
I just can't do it.
Wow.
So, all right. So this is so, I'm so with you on this. But we got a water filtration system, which I don't want to look underneath the counter because if it's just, it could have just been connected to the other, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's
And
all
I'd
mental.
be fine with it. It's a
Mental
mental
game.
thing, okay?
Yes.
It's a mental thing.
It is.
So we have the water filtration there. I mean, I'm getting city water. It is as clean as it can get, all right? So I've got the water filtration, and I'll drink it out of that. But I have my, what do you call those cups?
The
What are those
Yetis?
guys? Yetis. So my Yeti, I was filling up the other day, and I had it in my bedstand, and I walked in. I was just so thirsty, and I take it, and I walk into the bathroom, and I just look at the bathroom sink, and I'm like, nope,
Nope.
not gonna,
I
not
can't-
gonna
I
do
will
it.
make
I
the
cannot
wall.
do
It's
it.
the same as it
know.
is in the kitchen.
I know, I can't do it.
won't do it.
That's awesome.
It's amazing how it has changed
Do
so
you
much.
remember? I mean, when we were kids, our parents and our grandparents always said, and this is like Pellegrino and things that have been around for a long time. Perrier,
Right?
no way,
No way.
no
I'm not
way.
paying for water.
You idiots, you
Yeah.
morons that are
Yep.
doing that now.
No, I can't live without it.
Oh, it's
amazing.
It is amazing.
Okay, so back to the question after you've set this up. All right.
I'll
Toilet
learn.
paper or water?
Toilet
I'll
paper or
learn.
water?
I will tell you this. That's the reason why I have wells on the property is because I got well water.
I got you.
And I'll take that. Like,
Is it
Like-
good? Is the well water? What do you have to do to that? Do you have to put stuff in it, or you just trust
not
it?
ours. Ours is spring, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know. It's really
Nice.
good though. It's yummy. There is a difference, and I don't know if it's just like, oh, this is mountain spring water.
Yeah.
If it's all marketing in my head, I don't even know.
I think it probably is,
But it's only,
I don't care.
It's only good if he gets it from the kitchen. Okay. Other
Right.
than that-
No, I get that right directly from the ground, which should not work that way. Go out to that muddy hole over there and get some of that water.
Goodness.
All right. Well, you made us feel a lot better. Thank you. Thank you for coming
anytime
in.
I can help.
We'll probably hear more of this, I'm guessing, on the Glenn Beck program.
Yeah, panic.
About an hour or so.
Yeah, not panic
All
about
right.
the situation, just panic that I'm going to be telling you about it.
I am. Full frontal panic. Mainstream media, big tech companies, Facebook, Twitter, even big mobile, are all in bed with the left, and we all know it. And that's why It's such a good idea to support Patriot Mobile. These guys are awesome. They believe like we do, and they're veteran-led, and they have plans that start at just $25 a month and come with unlimited talk, text, and all the same service you get from everybody else because they all use the same 4 cell towers. And we've heard that forever, and it's true. And switching might seem like a real hassle, but Patriot Mobile makes it really easy. You can keep your number if you want. You can get a new phone or keep your old phone. They make it really simple for you. And right now, when you go to patriotmobile.com/Pat, you'll get free activation when you use the offer code PAT. Plus, you get a free gift when you open a new line. Or call their U.S.-based customer service team at 972-PATRIOT. We need to stick together on this. Join the fight. patriotmobile.com/Pat or 972-PATRIOT.
Pat Gray.
It really is just a... because tap water is actually pretty clean, and they've shown us that. Sometimes it's cleaner than what you get out of the bottle, the water bottle. But there's a mindset now that I just can't get past. And my wife is the same way. Glenn is the same way. Are you that way, or do you still?
I mean, you brush your teeth in the bathroom sink,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I mean, isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, but I don't swallow the water. I spit it out.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I'm the same way, but I'm not obsessive about that.
I kind of am. And I hate that it's happened, but
my hang up isn't so much, now this is going to sound elitist, isn't so much the water coming out of the tap, it's the temperature. I want it to be cold.
Oh,
man.
I do too. Yeah, and in Texas.
That's my hang up.
In Texas, you just don't get cold water.
Yeah.
In Montana, I mean, you can get it like it's been refrigerated in the wintertime.
Oh, that's the thing.
Oh, I loved it.
Montana, the water in a cabin we stayed at once was so cold.
So cold.
And tasted
It'll hurt your
so
teeth.
good
Yeah.
that I had to Google. I'm like, please tell me, how is this happening? And it's straight from the underground spring.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, just, so good.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's not even filtered at all. They
Yeah.
don't even filter it.
So I've got that little thing, and then the Yeti deal that keeps your the Yeti is maybe the greatest invention in the last 1,000 years.
Wow. 1,000.
It's unreal.
Better than TV and radio and
yes.
toilet paper?
Yes. There's been a couple of times when I have forgotten, I always wash the thing out every day. And then I've forgotten it a few times, come back the next day. So it's 24 hours later, there's still ice. That's crazy. Amazing to me. It's
That is really cool.
What an invention. Who did this? It's awesome. I love it. Anyway.
So assuming the virus doesn't get you and society breaks down,
Yes.
at least your water will still be cold.
Right. Yes. At least we'll have either still cold water or still hot beverage 24 hours later, which is pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
We got some tweets here at Pat Unleashed from Charmin Black Market Fencemen. I'm just going with the gangsta nod for my greeting.
Okay.
That's good.
That's good.
The Steve 42. I want Trump to declare a month of national emergency. Everyone stay home until mid-April. I'm not worried about the virus. I'm just lazy.
Oh, that's good.
Schumer's chair ghost. Oops. I'm sorry. I confused the Vulcan salute with the Vulcan mind meld.
Uh-huh.
That can happen.
Yep.
Also, Tyler's annoying shoulder bird. I've never been so happy that my PTSD made me contact averse as the arrival of COVID-19. Yep. Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Jeffy's belly button tour guide tweets.
Ow. Ew.
Keith can't go to Pat's house, because of the coronavirus outbreak. We're considering whether or not we're going to be doing this from the show from home. Can't go to Pat's house because it's like 7 kilometers away. How far is that? No way to know. And you don't know if there's going to be enough gas. So it's a really good point.
What if
right
I
there.
plan appropriately?
Yeah, well, you just heard. There's no way to do it.
Okay.
Carolina Bulldog. I'm all for a quarantine of congressmen to their home districts. Yes. Start immediately and permanently. That would seriously. I'm telling you, that fixes every problem we have. If you place those guys in their districts, and that's where they legislate.
See, these are the potentially good things that could eventually come out of this.
Seriously.
It's stuff like that.
That would be amazing.
Congressmen in their districts.
Two things. Term limits, and you got to legislate from your own district where you're accessible to all of your constituents every day, all the time. Be awesome. Ethan Protzel, if we run out of toilet paper, is bidet still civilized?
Oh, the bidet. Yeah, the bidet. Yeah, you got,
Oh, bidet. I have seen that word so few times.
Yeah.
I'm like, bidet? What did...
I thought it was like a
bidet.
Biden reference.
I don't think
at
that's
first,
how you
yeah.
spell bidet.
Oh, okay. So we've got the bidet.
Yes.
Could that use dual purposes there?
That sprays right up your...
Where it goes. Yeah. Fresh supply of clean water, though.
Stream of water straight up there. Okay. Sorry, that's not an American thing. Pastor Sam Burton. So, is it fair to say that many toilet paper aisles across the nation are wiped clean? Yes, it is. It's fairly fair to say that. Stoning Duck. Geez, guys, if there's no toilet paper, just put up a shower curtain in the yard. Use the garden hose.
No.
Very similar to the bidet.
That's a redneck bidet right there.
Yeah.
I will say that there's a fun story out of Wuhan, if there is such a thing, where the kids are no longer going to school, and they're all in isolation, and so they're getting their studies through an app the teachers are using. And I just thought this was a great little nugget that, where it's locked down there, teachers are using an app called Ding Talk to set homework assignments. Well, kids realized that if it got enough one-star reviews, it would be removed from the App Store. So thousands of reviews flooded in, and Ding Talk's rating fell from 4.9 to 1.4 overnight. That's awesome. That is awesome. Nice job, kids.
So they don't have to do their homework.
So if they can get that app pulled from the App Store, then sorry, teach.
Sorry.
I mean, the app that you want us to learn through no longer exists. So sorry.
Jeez.
That's so good.
Little brats.
Geniuses.
888-900-3393. So is it time to just stay home, to work from home? I don't know. I don't know if we're there yet. Again, you can't lose sight of the fact that we have 564 people infected. And is it going to go well past that? Of course it is. And, we'll probably wind up around 2 or 3% mortality rate, which is, high. But if you have a 98% chance of surviving this, and especially if you're not 80, let's say, and you're in fairly good health, you have a really good chance. You feel miserable for a little while, but then you survive it and it goes away.
Yeah. And talk about telecommuting, at least during this crisis. 50% of the U.S. workforce holds a job that is compatible with at least partial telework, and approximately 40% of the workforce works remotely at some frequency. 80 to 90% of Americans say they would like to telework at least part-time.
Wow.
So, I mean, the field is set.
Yes, it is.
There you go. But this goes right back to Glenn's doomsday stuff about the collapse of oil.
Right.
So let's talk about happy stuff since it's Monday.
Well, I was gonna mention the things that the government can legally do to contain the spread of the virus. We didn't get to that.
Okay.
Officials at the CDC apparently have the power to stop travelers, traveling, both foreigners and American citizens. So they can stop people from coming into the country, and they can stop Americans from moving around the country. That's pretty big.
I don't care for that.
Arriving on ships, airplanes, or overland, they can stop all that travel. If necessary, travelers may be isolated or quarantined at one of 20 designated quarantine stations. So they could literally and legally
don't mind affecting foreigners.
Travel shutdown. Yeah, I don't either. Keep people from coming here. But
I can't fly to Atlanta from Dallas?
Right. Yeah, they can do that.
This is America.
According to an executive order last updated in 2014, the infectious diseases that could prompt CDC to isolate or quarantine an individual are cholera, diphtheria, infectious tuberculosis, plague, smallpox, yellow fever, viral hemorrhagic fevers, severe acute respiratory syndromes, which is what this is, and new types of flu that could cause a pandemic. COVID-19 is included in that list, because of what I just said. Washington also has the power to recommend mandatory vaccination, so they can make you get the vaccine.
Whoa! No, wait, nuh-uh.
And to determine which groups should get first dibs on the vaccine or drugs that are in short supply. But as a constitutional matter, states can make their own rules on those kinds of things. In principle, if the federal government felt it were necessary to prevent a disease from spreading between states, it could place limits on interstate travel or commerce. But this has never happened. The CDC assists state and local authorities with expert advice and relies on them to respond to local circumstances, as well as to carry out and enforce federal orders if necessary. Federal government has long used its broad power sparingly so far. In addition, the federal government can stockpile medicines and supplies it deems essential, ventilators, vaccines, and antiviral drugs. It can distribute those as it sees fit. So that means they can pick and choose who gets the vaccine and who doesn't. So there's a few things that they can legally do, and fortunately, in most cases, I think in all cases, they've never done that, any of those things yet.
So I kind of balked at restricting travel, even domestically. How long? I guess if we turn over the airspace to the FAA, they did this on 9/11.
Yeah,
right?
they did. Yeah, right.
How long did they?
They did restrict travel for what?
Is at least a
few
week.
weeks?
Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out when it reopened, but it was a definite. So I guess if you give control of the skies to the federal government,
which we have,
then I guess
they can control it.
Can control it. Boy.
Yeah, we forget sometimes the power we've given to the federal government. It's immense.
And as
it's immense.
As your happy-go-lucky guest that you just had last hour told us in the past, the federal government is just a big machine with a key in it, and it's just waiting to be turned.
Yeah. And
we have set up so many large bureaucracies and given so much control to the federal government that, as Rahm Emanuel says, never let a good crisis go to waste.
And they never do.
Oh, boy. So, you know what? Just stop touching each other. Okay? Let's stop spreading this thing.
That one should be easy, actually. We should be able to do that. We can handle that. Also, the coronavirus is apparently affecting Hollywood now. The new James Bond movie was delayed. It was supposed to come out, I don't know, pretty soon here in the spring. Instead, it's not coming out until November. They're hoping that things will have died down by then. They're also being rocked in that they're not getting together and filming these movies. Jeff Bach, senior analyst, says, I've never seen anything where this many films are going to be affected all at once. There's isolated incidents or tragedies that can happen that might affect a certain film, but this really does infect all the industry from top to bottom. The industry estimates estimates put the financial loss from the Asian theaters has already cost them around $2 billion this year.
Oh, wow.
$2 billion from Asia alone.
Wow. And I was looking up the economic impact of canceling something like South by Southwest for Austin. That was at $353 million was the was the impact from just last year. So if you carry that over, and that's a big chunk of the region's economy every year.
Oh boy.
So there we go. But hey, Hollywood, movies delayed?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of a silver lining, no? Trying to find something there.
Although, the way Hollywood is now, the way movies are released now, you could still see the movies if they can produce them. You just go directly to your house.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
On demand. And you don't have to go and be around other people at the movie theater anymore. So they might be able to mitigate that a little bit. Now, they also feel like if the U.S. numbers continue as they have been going, all hospital beds in the U.S. will be filled with patients by about May 8th, Wow.
Whoa.
The Straits Times reported last week that thousands of people were waiting for hospital beds in South Korea as the disease surges there. And they think in the U.S.
by May 8th.
Won't take very long. Yeah, May 8th is the time when they think
hospitals will be full in America.
Yep. Just be jam-packed full of sick people. Jeez. It's amazing.
Oh, boy.
This thing is really, it's getting real all up in here.
Sure is.
Yo. Climate activists are finding a silver lining in the global coronavirus outbreak.
Oh, here we go.
Reduced economic growth, less travel, and lower carbon dioxide emissions for the planet.
Dear.
It's fantastic for the environment, wrote astrophysicist and philosopher Martin Lopez.
Philosopher.
On March 4th, at his Science 2.0 blog, we see a reduced production in Chinese industry, which has resulted in a huge drop in China's pollution. We also see that many international conferences, summits, or events that concentrate thousands of individuals from different countries are being canceled or made virtual because of the fear of extending the infection of coronavirus. What good news for the ecologists and tourist haters. This positively affects the reduction of CO2 emission and the whole wave, the destruction associated with holiday and professional conference tourism.
Wow.
Neither Greenpeace nor Greta Thunberg nor any individual or collective organization has achieved so much in favor of the health of the planet in such a short time. I mean, these people
They are
just
sick.
have their priorities so screwed up.
Yeah, I put something a week ago on Twitter where I was acting like, don't use a mask because that'll just clog up our landfills. So don't go with the mask, choose the planet over people. And people that don't know me didn't realize I was just tongue-in-cheek acting like a freak environmentalist. And here we go. Here we have the proof of the environmentalists seeing that, yep, destruction of the planet.
Yeah, and he's for real.
He's totally for real.
I mean, that's just asinine.
Insane. They're sick, man.
What's the matter with you? 888-900-3393. Again, it's putting the creation before the creator or the people he created in his image. I mean, it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Genesis 950. If you're thinking about replacing carpets due to pet stains or odors or grandchildren or children, you gotta try Genesis 950 first. We turned one of our bedrooms into a playroom since everybody's gone now pretty much in our house, and we have grandkids over all the time, and they just decimated the carpet in that room. I mean, it was stains from one end to the other. And we just went through that room with Genesis 950, took it all out, completely cleaned the carpet. Just absolutely amazing. My wife loves this stuff so much. So before you consider replacing your carpets, try Genesis 950. It's amazing at getting stains out, any kind, pets or food or whatever it may be. Just add some water, and Genesis 950 breaks down the bonds of stains. So they're gone for good. Its antibacterial component removes pet stains and odors from carpet and padding. It can be used in a carpet cleaning machine, and it's so green, it's safe for your family and your pets. If you're tired of pet cleaners that don't work, please try Genesis 950. Just 1 gallon of this industrial strength Genesis 950 can make up to 7 gallons of cleaner. And it's not just for pet stains. You can clean your whole house. Your bathrooms, kitchens, countertops, granite, quartz, garage floors, oil and grease stains come out. Engines, wheels, tools, upholstery. Try it. Genesis 950. It's available on Amazon.com. But if you order a gallon direct at Genesis950.com, you'll also get a free spray bottle and a discount when you use the offer code BLAZE. Okay? Go to Genesis950.com. Genesis950.com, offer code BLAZE.
Pat Gray is here.
I am. It's true, and thank you for being with us. There'd be no point in doing the show if you weren't, It'd be ridiculous.
It would be.
Just talking to ourselves. It'd be stupid.
Yeah.
From the Steve 42 at Pat Unleashed, is it just a coincidence that the explosion of COVID-19 happens at the very same time that Happy Women's Day 2020 is trending. I think someone needs to get back to cleaning. I'm just saying.
Is today Happy Women's Day?
No, yesterday was International Women's Day.
Oh, okay. Wow. I hate it. I missed it. I didn't put up my
But
international...
he's not saying, I'm sure, that it should be women that get back to cleaning.
Oh, that's what he's saying.
It should be somebody.
Sure. The women is what he's saying.
Bovine Scatology tweets, coronavirus gravitates to Dems. As seen in affected areas, West Coast, New York. So all DNC politicians should self-quarantine till 2099. I'm all about that.
Yes.
Rodney in Virginia. So I guess I should go back to greeting everyone with the one-finger salute until the pandemic is over. Kara 3022. So having an app removed is basically the millennial high-tech version of the dog ate my homework. Pretty much.
That was fun.
And air hockey playing Pathead Monkey M. So what if I give up some freedom for some guaranteed safety from this coronavirus? Right. Yeah. Exactly. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
You give up some freedom for your safety? I mean, that's what we're supposed to do.
Do you want to live or not?
I mean, come on. It's only reasonable. By the way, breaking news.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Big development.
Okay. What is this? Coronavirus? Political? What do we got going on here?
It's political.
Political. Okay.
It transcends all things, really, because it's that.
All right.
It's that important. Cory Booker, Spartacus himself, has just endorsed Joe Biden.
Oh, wow.
It's over.
Who could have seen that coming?
It's over. And that's despite some of the things that poor Joe has run into lately, like we just played for you a little while ago. He forgot the name of his president, the president that he served under. He forgot he was running for president. Remember when he said he was vote for me for Senate?
Yep.
He called a male voter fat. Look fat.
Yep.
He called a female voter dog-faced.
That's right.
A dog-faced liar in New Hampshire. He violently snapped at a reporter while shouting the word, why? Remember that? That was just a couple of weeks ago. He confused his wife for his sister at a campaign rally recently. He made up out of whole cloth a story about being arrested for protesting apartheid in South Africa.
That's just last week.
I mean, the guy has some issues, but everybody's getting on the bandwagon. Cory Booker, just the latest. Kamala Harris was over the weekend. She's the one that tore into him at the debates, and she supports him now, too.
Is anyone left to endorse him? Like, I think every Democrat has now come out and said, well,
I don't think Elizabeth Warren has.
That's true.
She hasn't endorsed anybody.
And as Just Too Muckenfudge points out, Elon Omar can't endorse Joe because his wife and his sister are two different people.
See what you did there? All right. 888-900-3393. Hillary had some thoughts on Joe. I mean, not Joe, but Bernie.
Bernie.
She seems to, be real close to Bernie. She's got a soft spot for him. Here's what she
drove me crazy.
said about Bernie.
He was in Congress for years. He had one senator support him. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants to work with him. He got nothing done.
Wow.
He was a career politician. He did not work till he was like 41, and then he got elected to something. It was all just baloney, and I feel so bad that, people got sucked into it.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, there you go.
How do you really feel, though?
Yeah, right?
That they never open up like that.
That's what somebody was pointing out on Twitter.
Nobody does that.
For the first time ever, Hillary seemed real.
She did seem real. Her hatred for Bernie is real. Because I think she holds him responsible in part, for the loss to Trump. Because I think she believes that he weakened her going into the Trump battle. And so she's really pissed off. And she probably should. The guy does suck. Let's face it. He's terrible. He's terrible. So is she. But
yeah.
Who's terribler? I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know which one.
Flip that coin.
I really don't know. 888-900-3393. But that is interesting because that is a real moment there. And they never let down their guard like that with a fellow Democrat. Anyway, they'll tear into Republicans all day, every day. But not with Democrats. Of course, again, Bernie's not even a Democrat. I don't even know how they've allowed this to happen. The guy's a socialist. Why are you even letting him run as a Democrat? It's ridiculous.
Is it fair to say that he and his minions have dragged the Democratic Party with them, though?
Very much so. Yeah, it's very fair to say that. And they have. And they're nasty. These Bernie Bolsheviks. Don't fall into that trap of making them sound like it's some kind of cute boy band. The Bernie Bros. Bernie Bolsheviks, much more applicable.
Yeah.
Now, what's the AOC?
Oh, so
video
AOC is on with Seth Meyers over the weekend, I guess Friday night. And they're talking about the 2020 census coming up, and she had a message specifically for illegal aliens that are here in the country.
Oh, good.
And so I think what's really important is that we all fill this out. It happens once every 10 years. Every single person, no matter your documentation status, no matter your housing status, income, etc., is to be counted. And it determines how much our schools are going to get funded, how much infrastructure gets invested, and of course, how many members of Congress each community gets. And if you get undercounted, in some parts of New York City, some communities, the self-reporting is about half of what we think it should be. That has real impacts on apportionment of how many teachers that your local schools get. So it's really important. It's completely confidential. It's even confidential within the federal government. Your census data is not shared with any other federal agency at all. So don't worry if you're having a creative living situation, and it's not going to be told to your landlord or anything crazy like that.
So if you're breaking the law, we're not going to tell on you. It's okay. So if you're here illegally, that's all right. We want you to be. We do.
Yeah.
We want you desperately to be here illegally. We do want that.
Creative living situation is what we're referring to it as now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in other words, if you're breaking the law, we'll look the other way. Don't worry about it. Just come forward and admit that you're breaking the law. We'll just count you. That's all.
Yeah, the Census Department's not going to share that information with any other.
And they're not.
Federal. Yeah, because
she's right about that.
We went to court to make sure that you stayed in the shadows.
Pathetic. These people are unbelievable. Then they'll yell at us about the rule of law. It's so amazing to watch. I mean, how do you even look yourself in the mirror? It's again, they're evil. They're just evil. Yes. Seriously, anybody trying to thrust us into socialism in this country, it is an evil effort. And so, if you're not evil yourself, you're certainly supporting evil. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Hey, we get some tweets here at Pat Unleashed. Pretty Princess tweets. COVID-19 has now had a greater environmental impact than Greta Thunberg. I recommend COVID-19 for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Nice.
Kent Decker tweets, for the first time in my adult life, I agree with the DNC. None of us want Bernie Sanders. I applaud them doing whatever it takes to keep him out. The Steve 42, wow, Cory Booker asked his supporter to vote for Joe Biden. Yeah, he probably has one
person who likes him. Mm-hmm.
That could be the vote to tip the scale.
Big endorsement, right?
We showed you that big endorsement last break, and now we have a pretty key Democrat who has just endorsed Donald Trump, if believe it or not.
Whoa.
Yeah, take a look.
Only re-elect Donald Trump.
There you go. You can only re-elect Donald Trump.
Joe,
I mean, if you don't believe it, listen to it again. Here he is.
Excuse me, we can only re-elect Donald Trump.
Believe me, we can only re-elect Donald Trump. I agree with you, Joe. I agree with you.
Keep America Great PAC approves this message.
If they don't use that somehow, they're really missing the boat. There's an actual endorsement from Joe Biden. Fantastic. All right. So just to clear up the coronavirus stuff. First positive test for coronavirus confirmed in Virginia. I mean, I don't know, what, 32 states? 564 cases, 22 deaths in the United States so far.
Yes.
Oil crashes by the most since 1991. as Saudi Arabia launched a price war. Oil prices suffered a historic collapse overnight after Saudi Arabia shocked the market by launching a price war against one-time ally Russia. U.S. prices crashed as much as 34% to a 4-year low of, oh my gosh, $27.34 a barrel. Oof. And when are we going to see that reflected at the pump? 8 months from now? Never?
I don't know. It's starting to go down nicely. Yeah, it is. I've noticed.
It's just not as immediate as the increase, of course.
Yeah.
Increases right now.
Yes.
Yes. The decrease might happen down the road, might not.
Right.
I don't know.
A butterfly sneezes over the Sahara.
Right. And prices go up.
Go up $1 a gallon immediately overnight. But a global pandemic breaks out, then it's going to slowly trickle down that price.
Wow, $27.34 a barrel.
Yeah, it's
that's not good.
No.
Seriously, that's not good for the economy. That's not good for Texas.
Exactly. There you go.
And I love it at the pump, but you got to kind of weigh that against the economic impact of it, and that's not good. And when you're talking about people who work in the oil industry, there tend to be layoffs when this happens. Jobs dry up, drilling decreases.
Yeah, you talked about the confirmed cases of the coronavirus here in the United States. So now we're up to 566. We've added a couple since the show started. Total deaths in the United States, 22, but 19 of those are all in the state of Washington, most of them at that one nursing home. And then you've got one case in California and 2 in Florida. These are the 22 confirmed deaths in the United States.
Okay, so you've got a mortality rate of close to 4%, 0.038%. So almost 4%. Wow. But again, that's because of the hard hit nursing home situation.
Right.
That's why it's a little higher because I think the average is around 2% mortality rate. Which is still a lot higher than the flu, but not as high as what we've got here.
Keep in mind, the very young and the very old are hardest hit, and those with underlying health conditions. So
if you're healthy, and youngish, you should be okay.
It's not going to be a fun experience.
No, I'm sure not.
But you should be able to recover. Is the thought right now?
There was a guy who got it on one of the cruise ships. I'm not sure which one, but they held him on the cruise ship for a while, and he was in quarantine, and he had it, and then he got over it, and he left, and when he left, he talked to reporters, and they asked him how bad it was, and he said, "Well, had I been home instead of on a cruise ship, I probably would have gone to work."
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's how. He didn't feel great, but he felt good enough he could have gone to work. So
interesting.
Yeah. Just got to put it into perspective a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
888-900-3393.
Make sure you have lots of toilet paper, from what we understand.
Yes.
Apparently that's a remedy.
And water. Buy water and toilet paper. At a panic rate, please. Please panic over this.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Right.
You just want people to panic.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
I'm hoping they will.
And apparently the solution to keeping coronavirus out of your country is when everybody owns at least 4 ultra-large family-sized packs of toilet paper. Then we've won.
As we talked with Glenn last hour, about an hour ago, it's just one of those things that's the last vestige of civilization.
Yeah.
Toilet paper. You think you're civilized, and you think you're okay if you could still just use toilet paper.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
That's funny.
It does make sense.
It does.
Also, GOP Representative Elise Stefanik harassed when she went to a grocery store. She went to buy groceries, comes out, and somebody had left her a note on her car because she's a Trump supporter. And that's what it said.
Wow.
Rotten hell, fascist pig. Good gosh. That's unbelievable. Is this what we need in the United States of America? Is people doing this kind of stuff? Because She has a different philosophy, politically speaking, than you do. I don't get it.
Yep, that's where we're at right there.
Don't get it. And Howard Dean kind of agreed with it. Howard Dean basically said she deserves it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Former DNC chairman.
Pathetic.
Okay.
But, it was encouraged by their leadership. Remember this from Maxine Waters.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station,
and
you create a crowd, and you push back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome.
Oh, okay.
Well, there you go. All right. So,
and people are doing it. So congratulations, Maxine. Thank you for that. Again, if that was a Republican firing up the base like that, telling them to get in people's faces wherever you see them, well, what kind of response would there have been in the media?
Just think of the standard for a moment.
Seriously.
You've got Sarah Palin puts a target on a congressional district. A guy who is not even within 1 million miles of being a Republican shoots her.
Right.
And Sarah Palin is responsible for that, and the Republicans writ large. You've got a sitting congresswoman saying, go and make life difficult for these people.
Yeah.
These administration officials.
Well, and Bernie never paid the price for his minion shooting up the Republican baseball team.
Very true.
So it's just such an amazing double standard. Unbelievable. We got to show you this MSNBC situation, too, with Williams, right?
Brian
Williams.
And some guest, yeah.
Brian Williams and a guest had a little Keith math going on and couldn't quite figure things out. Look at this.
But you see it as a possibility if he wants to spend $1 billion
Michael Bloomberg
beating this guy, he could do it.
Absolutely. Somebody tweeted recently that actually with the money he spent, he could have given every American $1 million.
I've got it. Let's put it up on the screen.
You got it? Okay.
When I read
let's
it,
see it.
Tonight on social media, it kind of all became clear.
Pause it for a second.
$500
when you read this, it all became clear. Bloomberg spent $500 million on ads. The U.S. population is 327 million. He could have given each American $1 million and still had money left over. I feel like $1 million check would be life-changing for most people, yet he wasted it all on ads and still lost.
So $500 million on ads,
and there's 327 million people.
Wow, $1 million bucks each?
That goes a long way, man.
Sure does.
He knows how to stretch his dollars with the American people. It's like $1.53 or something per person. $1, right. Not $1 million.
So what's worse, this person's tweet and the Keith math they used,
the
or
Brian Williams
watch
thing?
This stuff. Watch him.
Let's finish this up.
U.S. population, 327 million.
They even read it.
Don't tell us if you're ahead of us on the math. He could have given each American $1 million and have had lunch money left over. It's an incredible way of putting it.
It is an incredibly stupid way of putting it.
It's disturbing. It does suggest, what we're talking about here, which is there's too much money in politics.
Yeah, there is. When you can give $1 million to every American and still have money for lunch left over or whatever.
Tell me there weren't people in the control room, hopefully at MSNBC. Were like,
I don't think so, because
that doesn't make sense.
They obviously got the tweet.
Yeah.
They showed it to Brian.
Yeah.
The producers are like, look at this figure. We've got to use this tonight.
Yeah.
They post it, and still he reads it, and it never occurs to anybody.
They've got to load it into the machine.
Nobody says, wait, what? That's not $1 million per person. Oh my gosh.
Carry
that's
the one.
Unbelievable. You would have had to have a figure in trillions maybe for that to happen.
Man.
Hundreds of billions at least. I don't know. I didn't do the math. But
that's rough. That is definitely a Keith math.
That's really rough. Really bad. Because it was obviously premeditated. They had the tweet. They posted up. They put it on the full screen. Brian Williams reads it, and they don't get it. Then somebody, I don't know, somewhere, maybe somebody called into MSNBC, because it didn't occur to anybody on the show, that's clear. And then I think when they came back, they finally cleared it up, and they're like, oh, wait,
Did they really? They corrected
Wait.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Wait.
That's rough.
327 times 1 million is not 500 million.
Well, now you
327 million times a million is only 500 million? Wow. That's amazing. All right. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Greta Thunberg is upset with the media. We can't have this. I'm really sad about this. But here's why.
Okay.
Well, it's pretty much the same message. They always say we're going to try to do more and we need to step up our ambition. And that's the things that they're saying now as well. So I guess, but still there's no real sense of urgency, it feels like.
Oh, well.
Not tired. I know that people won't listen, and I know that the media won't report about what I say, so I just have to go on until people realize it.
The media won't report on what you say?
When I mean the media report about what I don't say, I don't mean...
You don't mean...
The media, yes, they write a lot about me and
Yeah.
what I do, but not maybe the content of what I say, and they write maybe about the climate, but not the climate crisis.
What? She's not even making sense there. They do. They do write about me and what I say. They don't write about what I say. Well, yeah, they do write about what I say and the climate, but then they don't write about the climate. No, but they do write about the climate, but not, the climate catastrophe. Yes, they do that too.
And maybe they don't, put everything you say out there because you're so incoherent when you speak that they just say, yep, there's this young girl and she's out spreading the message for the climate. And leave it at
They still report on most of what she says, too.
Okay, well.
I think. She gets way more credit than for the things that she's saying, for the content of what she's saying, than she deserves.
That's true. That's true. Sorry.
And they write maybe about the climate, but not the climate crisis.
I see. And about the climate, but not the climate crisis. They just talk about the climate, and how there is one. Really? Is that what they're talking about? How there's a climate? Yeah, there's a climate. And
sorry, Greta. Your 15 minutes is up.
I wish. I really, really wish. Because,
how dare you?
She is ridiculous.
And get in school already.
I don't know why.
She just wrote off this entire school year.
Mm-hmm. She must be homeschooled by now, because otherwise she's just truant, right? And her parents should be arrested.
Oh, that's a word we need to bring back. Truant. She definitely is truant.
By the way, the Illinois Supreme Court delivered some bad news to former Empire actor Jussie Smollett.
Uh-oh.
The court refused to throw out the felony indictment charging him with falsely claiming to have been the victim of a hate crime last year. He tried to take that all the way to the Illinois Supreme Court and get it thrown out. And they said, nope, this goes forward. How about that? He faces several counts still, including disorderly conduct for lying to police, when he claimed that the two men wearing MAGA hats attacked him near his apartment in Chicago and yelled racial and homophobic slurs at him in 20 below zero weather, tied a noose around his neck, but didn't strangle him with it. And then he made sure he continued to wear the noose until police removed it in his apartment. Motions for supervisory orders and extraordinary remedies are not usually granted. We believe the unique circumstances of this case warranted filing the motion. We will now follow the standard appellate procedure. So it just goes forward. The grand jury investigation revealed that Smollett planned and participated in a staged hate crime attack, and thereafter made numerous false statements to Chicago Police Department officers on multiple occasions, reporting the heinous hate crime that he, in fact, knew had not occurred. And he's never admitted it. He's stuck to his story the whole time and continues to try to, I guess, foment hate in Chicago and throughout this country. I don't even understand what the point of it was. There was a report at one point that he was pissed off that he wasn't making as much money as he should. And so you concoct a fake hate crime against yourself? That's interesting. Is there a number people can call, Ivan?
Yeah, 911 apparently. Make a false claim.
Yeah, and he did. And he did. All right. Billy Porter is about to make a genderless fairy godmother in a Cinderella remake. The kids are ready for this. I guess the parents have been, they've been some trouble on these kinds of things. But the kids, they're ready for a genderless fairy godmother. Emmy award-winning actor Billy Porter revealed in a new interview that he's portraying a genderless fairy godmother in the upcoming Cinderella remake, saying that kids are ready for more inclusive fairy tale characters. Good gosh.
Gross.
The Pose star and gender-bending fashion icon.
Oh, yeah, Pose. You know that show, right?
No.
I don't either.
No. He's known for wearing lavish, custom-made gowns on the red carpet. Said the new Cinderella is set to premiere in 2021. Will be a classic fairy tale for a new generation.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait.
It hit me when I was on the set last week how profound it is that I'm playing the fairy godmother they call Fab G.
What? This is going to be great.
Magic has no gender.
Can I quote him on that?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead. We're presenting this character as genderless. At least that's how I'm playing it. And it's really powerful. Sure it is. I think the new generation is ready. The kids are ready. It's the grown-ups that are slowing stuff down. Yeah, because they know better. Yeah, you can do all of the indoctrination you want on the kids. But yes, their parents should be slowing it down and bringing it to a full stop.
All right. All I know is that magic has no gender. Pat.
No gender.
No gender.
Neither does story time in libraries, public libraries. That doesn't have any gender either.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It doesn't matter what gender, or they could be non-binary people that are showing up and talking to our kids and reading them stories every week. They need to learn this stuff now. They're kids. Some of them are 3-4 years old. Okay, it's time to be told about drag queens.
Yeah, what's been taking so long?
I don't know.
They're 3 years old. They don't know about drag queens and transgender stuff.
Parents, they're stupid, pathetic, hateful, ignorant parents that are transphobic parents.
Don't slow down progress.
Huh. Oh my gosh! Another little victory in a civil asset forfeiture case.
I like it.
The Wyoming Supreme Court ordered state authorities to return $470,000 that police seized during a traffic stop. That's a lot of money.
Sure is.
$470. Jeez. The court ruled last Tuesday that the state attorney general's office violated Robert Miller's right to due process. Under the U.S. Constitution, by waiting 9 months from the date of the traffic stop to file a civil case. The money was seized from the Illinois man in 2013 on I-80, 7 years ago. He's been waiting 7 years to get his money back.
Unacceptable.
Completely. A Wyoming highway patrolman found a manila envelope filled with cash in Miller's vehicle. An extended search turned up the $470,000 in the envelopes. The trooper learned law enforcement records tied Miller to a drug case from California. That case involving the hallucinogenic LSD was later revealed to be 8 years old. Okay. Miller was never charged with a crime in connection with the traffic stop.
And that's the key.
Yet, they took his money.
For 7 years. I want interest on that, please.
Yeah, please. That should be about $650,000 easy by now. I mean, that is nuts. $470,000. Now, why do you have that? I don't know, but it's none of your business.
Yeah,
unless you have committed a felony.
And I don't care that I was involved with an LSD-related crime 8 years
ago.
prior. That has nothing to do with this. That is a completely separate thing. And if you can prove that there's a crime involved with this money, then we'll proceed. If you can't, then give the money back and move on.
It's interesting that this guy is getting his money back, even though he was connected with a crime in the past.
Yeah,
when
he's
most
lucky.
of these people have been connected with nothing.
Right.
They haven't done anything wrong at any time and never get charged with anything, and they still lose their money.
I think the fact that this guy is tied to a previous crime and is getting his money back is a very good sign.
It's a good sign
for the future of civil asset forfeiture in this country.
That maybe we're still America. I hope, but it's pretty hard to believe that they've had it for 7 years now.
Yeah.
That's unconscionable.
Did you see that the guy who licked ice cream here in Texas, he got 30 days in jail?
Good.
Yeah. Even
Dumbass.
though he went back and security footage showed that he bought the ice cream. But Texas, we don't screw around with our ice cream being tampered with.
Yeah, don't mess with that. Especially, and it was Bluebell, wasn't it?
I think
it was.
So what did he get, 30 days or something? Or
yeah, 30 days in jail.
Don't mess with Texas.
Dadrian Anderson, 24, handed the sentence over the August 2019 stunt. So, gosh, it's been going on a year now. I guess seven months or so. In Port Arthur, Texas. Even though surveillance footage from the store shows he did eventually grab the same tub of Bluebell ice cream out of the freezer and purchased it.
Oh, well. Don't be stupid, dude.
Shouldn't have done that, because then you inspired others to do the same. And sure enough, they did. The clip, which didn't show the part where he ultimately purchased the pint, racked up more than 157,000 views on Facebook before it was taken down. Cops issued an arrest warrant for him after the Bluebell Creameries replaced all the ice cream in that display at a cost of $1,565. So now he gets to spend 30 days in jail for that cute little stunt.
But do you think he got enough views on YouTube to cover bail? Or
no.
No? Okay.
No, I don't think he did.
So he's in the pokey.
Yep. All right.
That's so stupid.
Good safety tip, kids. Don't go lick ice cream and then put it back in there.
And also, don't be shaking hands either, right? Just don't even do anything like
Another
that.
good safety tip.